What's up, guys? This is KJH here, and this is part 1 of my Fox platform follow-up tutorial. There's only going to be 3 parts. Pretty much before we get into it, I'll go over what all the parts will be about. Part 1 will be all about getting the initial hit off the up throw on the platforms. I'll basically go over like a flow chart that Leffen and Armada use to get their first hit so consistently. And then part two of this tutorial will be about what to do after the first hit, and then part 3 will be what to do after the second hit, how to position yourself, set up for a potential kill, or most likely just set up for an edge guard. But okay, I want to get right into it. I want to make this as simple to understand for all types of levels, mid-level, low-level, and high-level. So there's a lot of complicated things about the platform follow-up. But again, I'll keep it super simple for everyone to understand. And I'll do a Q&A video after I'm done with everything. Okay, so first off, we're going to explain the 50-50. This is pretty much a consistent way to cover the tech rolls. Pretty much how the 50-50 works is you can't cover everything. Majority of the times, there's very specific situations where you can cover everything. But usually you have to guess between mistech and tech in place. And if you cover mistech or tech in place, then you give up covering another option like a roll or something. And if you go for the other 50-50 where you cover the tech rolls and you miss covering tech in place. I feel like that's easy to understand. So I'm going to get into how to cover the tech rolls. The best way I figured out how to do this from like watching Armada and Leffen's punish game is to just input like a short dash forward whenever they go to the platform. And then by doing so, you put yourself in a position to cover both rolls on reaction. Sorry. It's so hard to actually get them to DI to the platform. And then he doesn't tech. Nice. Okay, right there. I did a short dash and he teched in, and I was able to react and dash forward. And right there, I was able to react to the tech away and just continue my dash forward or input another dash forward like that. It's very easy. And this is how you practice it. You put your CPU on, you take off the tech in place and you only put it on tech rolls, and you practice this reaction right here. Very easy once you get the hang of it. And it's just super simple, just one input dash forward. And that's how you start the first 50-50. Okay. So next is how to cover 3 out of 4 options at low percent from center stage. So now we can turn on, since you guys know how to cover the rolls on reaction, like a specific, like a easy setup to cover those, we can go back and turn on the other tech rolls. So we can put these two at 25. This is usually what I have them at, the defaults, and have this at 50%. So now we can get into how to cover the tech in place along with other things. Like there are times where you can cover 3 out of 4 options. Also, a heads up, the punish game slightly varies between Fox Dittos and Fox on Falco because the weight is slightly different, but the same fundamental rules apply. There just might be slight percent changes. But anyway, so how to cover the tech in place while also covering other options. This also depends on where you grab them. So if you're grabbing them from center stage and they're just DI into the platform, you can oftentimes cover it with just an immediate, like an immediate up air. And then the best way I do this is you just record yourself and then you go in and see exactly what you covered. So in this situation, my up air covered mistech, tech in place, and a tech roll. And this is the best way for you to like test yourself and see what you're covering with your up airs. And you can go frame by frame and see exactly how I did this up air. So I walked a little bit and up aired immediately as fast as possible out of my full hop. And that's how I covered 3 out of 4 options right here. Like again, this changes. This all depends on where Falco lands. So if Falco lands slightly towards the center from this up throw, then I wouldn't be able to cover this same. I wouldn't be able to cover this tech roll. I wouldn't be able to cover this tech roll because he would be a lot further away by the time he's right here. I hope that makes sense. And then yeah, of course, it does not cover this. Now the way you can cover this one while also covering attack in place is to do something that Leffen does. And he does an immediate up air but a full drift. So let's see if I can get that. It's going to be difficult to get in the DI all the way. Come on, Falco. I didn't even DI away twice. I can just make the recording myself. And just hold away. Okay. Okay, and that should be the up air. So then we can go over what this up air covers. So it covers the tech in place, covers the mistech, and it puts you in a position right here to cover the tech roll away. Generally, I like to cover the tech roll away with double shine. Let's see. Like that. And that's how you cover the 3 out of 4 options if he decides to tech away. I hope this makes sense as well. But it's pretty much you can decide between covering tech in place and drifting in to cover the tech roll in, or you can do a deep up air, and then you get this juicy punish at a double shine right here. Sets up for an easy edge guard situation, like right off the bat. Okay, now, oh, what just happened? Okay, now I have to cover it under the platform. Okay, so under the platform is a little different. Same fundamental things apply though. So if you get the grab under the platform, the best thing I like to do is I like to walk in the direction. If I go for the 50-50 on the tech rolls, if I go for a 50-50 on the tech rolls, I like to walk in a direction that they DI. So if they tech roll away, I don't have to run. I just have to jump and up air. But if they tech behind me, then you have to run. So let's see if I can get it. Like that. Like right there, I walked in a direction and he tech rolled away and I reacted and just jumped in up air. But I'm still putting myself in a position to react with a backdash if they decide to tech away. Like that. And so yeah, that same 50-50 applies. You just have to position yourself slightly differently with a walk instead of a dash. Now tech in place is a little harder because a lot of times if they don't do any DI and they land in the center, you can only cover 2 options, and that's usually the tech in place and the miss tech. But usually with the tech, covering the tech in place, you want to delay the up air and your jump just a little bit. Most likely you want to delay your jump. You want to delay your jump and your up air so you have more time to cover more, and you also get a drift, if that makes sense. Because a lot of times if you do your up air immediately like that, you don't have time position yourself to cover a roll potentially. So yeah, delay your up air a tiny bit, but also make sure to do your up air fairly quickly, like right after you jump. Also, yeah, side note, when you full hop, or I think it's only when you full hop, but when you full hop, if you do your up air or any aerial immediately, you don't go as high, like this. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. Now if I up air on this frame, look at how high I go. Not that high at all. And this is where you want to be, like placing your up air like that. But if you do your up air frame after you're airborne, look at how high you go. And this is where your first hits. A lot of times, this is why you need the fastest up air possible, because you want your first hit to hit lower when Falco or Fox is on the ground, like they're laying down. Sometimes, if you do this up air, it goes too high, it just goes right over them. But yeah, that's how you cover under the platform. Fairly simple still, 50-50. Sometimes you can cover a lot more. But we'll get into that. Okay, how to cover at mid%. This one's interesting because let me turn these off. It definitely varies on stage. We'll start off on this stage. I would say about 30. Yeah, let's go with 30%. This one's probably safe. So usually at lower percent, like I said, when you get this up air, you want to do the up air. I mean, when you get this grab, you want to do the up air immediately like this. In this case, if you get a grab towards the platform and a DI to the platform, you want to do the jump like that and delay your up air. So let's see what this covered. Let's see. That did not cover in this text. Let's see. That might have covered it. Let's see. It's always good to check again. Make sure you're like close to perfect. Yeah. Okay. So that covered miss tech, tech in place, and the tech roll. And it's the same concept, but at higher percent. Since Falco or Fox, whatever character you're up throwing, like Falco or Fox, since they're in the air longer, you have more time to set up for this punish instead of doing it immediately. And also the best way to do this is to buffer your jump out of up throw. And if you look at the upper left hand corner, if you press up on the control stick towards the end of your throw, your jump buffers for 4 frames. It's a pretty big window, so you can technically always get a frame perfect jump out of your up throw like this. So yeah, that's definitely something to practice. I only recommend going for this at like mid%. However, on stages like Yoshi's and Stadium where the platform is a lot lower, you can go for this even at like maybe 15% or something like that. You can go for it at a much lower percent. Let me show that very quickly. Yeah, let's even try 12%. And let's record just to see what we're covering. Go away, Shy Guys. Okay, let's see. So miss tech, tech in place, and the tech behind. Yeah. So same thing. Just remember on Yoshi's and Stadium, you can start this at a lot lower percent. Okay. Next is Waveland regrab. This is something Armada does more than Leffen does. And we'll get into the pros and cons of it later when we talk in part 2 when we talk about getting the second hit. But Waveland regrab is fairly simple. Starts at a slightly higher percent, like around this percent. But it's a lot better if they're always teching in. Because the thing is, if they're teching in, you're always going for this up air. A lot of times, all they have to do is DI that up air away, and your combo ends. But if they're attacking in or away, you get yourself a position to either up throw and get a shine spike right here, or up throw and get a regrab with the DIN. So waveland regrab can be extremely good for like extending the punish even more. But there is a risk to it, and the risk is right there. If you go for it and they tech in place, then they get a free shine. You don't have enough time to like get your shield up or do anything like that. And against Falco, that's huge. So the other 50/50s, like covering tech in place from the ground, or just doing a short dash under, they don't risk you getting tech in place shine. That's the only thing. But yeah, waveland regrab can be extremely good. I definitely recommend doing it if you're noticing that your opponent is always teching to the sides. Okay, and lastly, how to convert off of a pivot grab. So this is just like a small tip for people. Should be like fairly known. But usually when people approach you, when people approach you and you whiff punish their approach, majority of people hard press their L cancels. And what that means is they press L or all the way down when they L cancel, and that locks them out of tech windows, okay? So what you can do is if someone approaches you with a nair like that, and you happen to whiff punish it, you want to immediately up throw up air them. Because right here, he's locked out of the tech window. He can't tech again. And that's just like an easy up throw up air. Like, granted, some people will hit this tech and some people soft cancel, but this is just like a little tip if you ever like pivot grab someone. Is just to like immediately up throw them after, because 9 times out of 10 they will miss their attack. But okay, that is it for part 1. Be sure to check out part 2. Yeah, thank you for watching.